If you're here because you heard XRP could hit $1,000 in 2026, I want to slow this down right away. Not to kill optimism, but to keep you thinking clearly because price targets do not build wealth. Time, structure, and positioning do. So today we're not talking about getting rich quick. We're talking about how real wealth is actually built with assets like XRP over the next decade. If it's your first time hopping into one of these streams, we're going to cover the price action, the ETFs, and then I'm going to discuss with you how you can actually build wealth in crypto over the long view, because we're not here for what the price is today or tomorrow or a week from now. We're here for what the price is going to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, as we continue to build this out. So if you're coming into the stream, I appreciate you. Go ahead and engage in the chat. The chat is the lifeblood of the stream. And we're also going to discuss some crypto security today as well. With so much talk happening around the Clarity Act and private security, we'll also bring in some conversation about private security as well as how to create wealth and safety in this space without losing everything. Again, nothing in this stream is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. The stream is for entertainment and educational purposes only. But without further ado, happy Friday to everyone, and we will hop into what is going on with the price today and the chart. Hopefully some people are coming into the stream. Currently testing EMA 9 right now on the 1 hour chart. We did fall all the way down into this oversold area, and now we are sitting at 2051-ish. Again, we look at the chart for context, not for what the price is today, but so we can understand the structure and what's going to happen. If you were here yesterday, you saw when we were discussing the structure and what could potentially happen with a real supply shock scenario. So that's why we cover these things. That's why we look at price daily, so we can have an understanding of what is actually happening in the market. So right now we are battling for EMA 9. If we pull back to the 1 week chart like we like to look at, this is what we use to confirm a breakout. This is looking like we are staying under EMA 9, that this is going to continue. We have lower lows, lower highs. It looks like we are in a real downtrend. Again, 175 to 177 is our security blanket level for support. Bitcoin's pulling back today. So it looks like, let's double check here. It looks like we may have a retracement. If you guys could let me know in chat if you're here. I'm not seeing anyone in the chat right now. Usually I have at least a few people. Bitcoin is trying to push up above EMA, but it looks like it's starting to retrace now. And this is what's concerning to me. I'm always here telling you guys the truth, but Bitcoin is going up while XRP is going down, and that's concerning to me. We'll see if Bitcoin continues to go up and hold that level. If we can't push above EMA 9, I'm fairly confident we're going to fall all the way back to 175. So if you have buy orders in under the $2 level, we have a good chance of getting there this weekend if this trend continues to stay under EMA. But again, we're here for the long view. Right now, crypto is chopping. XRP is up 0.3% today, but really nothing is doing anything. Bitcoin's up 0.3%. There's a lot of FUD right now going on in the markets because of everything that just happened with the Clarity Act this week, because of a looming potential government shutdown at the end of this month, right? We have I just exited out, but I had it pulled up. We have a 25% chance of a government shutdown at the end of this month. This is not good news for crypto, ladies and gentlemen. It's FUD. It's going to hurt. But again, we also have quantitative easing starting in. The government was supposed to buy billions of dollars this morning, but they didn't because of a technical error. So they are buying back billions of dollars of their treasuries and their bonds. So quantitative easing is underway. We should see liquidity injected into the market. But again, we're here for the long view. So we're going to discuss how to build this out over time. Quiet stream. I see you in there, King Kong. I appreciate you being here today. So we should be building this out over time. Now let's take a look at the ledger though, because we've been following this, and what's actually happening on the ledger is going to be the biggest indicator of what we have moving into utility, right? So right now, let's go. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Let me get to the right transaction types here. Right now, payment activity is still staying elevated. It's increased since Christmas, and it's maintaining over this 1 million level. Yesterday, we did 1.1 million, so still staying over a million, and we're currently at 977,000 transactions today. So we are seeing this large spike in transaction and this, this large spike in account set activity starting to show up in transactions. Again, as this gets above 2 million and maintains, that's what we're looking at for a potential impact on price as far as XRP goes. But we are seeing real ledger activity starting to ramp up now, which is extremely exciting because we do believe utility is what's going to kick this off. Unfortunately, clarity was bad news, bad juju. This is important, okay? I'm not going to watch the whole video, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. Larry Fink warns U.S. debt will matter. He says we're too focused on monetary policy and not enough on fiscal discipline. The national debt is over 38 trillion and still growing. We keep saying one day it will matter. I just don't know when that day comes. So our economy, I've been talking about in the last quarter, I was talking about how our economy was teetering on the edge of the knife with all of the issues with private credit, with the AI bubble, with a potential Bitcoin bubble brewing. Our economy is not as strong as they're making it out to be. I know our stock market is doing very, very well, but you all know when you go to the grocery store, it's not good right now for most people. A lot of people are really struggling financially right now just because of the cost of everything that's went up and wages have not followed enough. Again, my opinion, not financial advice, but it's something to have on your mind as you're investing in any space as far as what's going on with the total macro economy. But that being said, even as I say that, we're at a greed right now, 62 greed. I've always said when there's blood in the streets, that's the time to buy. When we start getting up into greed and to extreme greed, that's when I'm starting to get concerned. And what is truly concerning to me is we are in this greed area now, and we are not seeing it truly transition to the crypto market. We're not. Crypto as a whole, remember, when we were at like $1.85, I think, so 20 cents ago, when we were at $1.85, this fear and greed index was down to like a 4, 6. And now we are all the way up to a 62, and it is not moving. And it's not because I have any fear of crypto or any fear of the projects. I believe in XRP. Don't get me wrong. I believe in all my crypto assets that I have for the long term. I'm really concerned about our overall economy and stock market right now as far as what's going to happen in the next 6 months. Again, that's me, not financial advice. So what will XRP do, right? Everyone wants to know what XRP is going to do over the next month. If we can break EMA 9, and the chat's being really quiet. I don't know if my chat's not working today or what's going on, but no one's in the chat. Usually I have at least 20 people talking to me in there. So if you're coming in, please engage in the chat. Chat is the lifeblood of the stream. Questions, comments, concerns, we will cover it all. Today is a big day for crypto. It really, truly is. That being said, so if we hold EMA 9, if we can cross above EMA 9, which is this blue line right here, we can switch the momentum. If it rejects off of this EMA 9, I'm expecting it to fall. So if we can cross EMA 9 and continue to push, that opens us up to a chance to get to, these higher numbers up here. But if it rejects off EMA 9, which it has not once but twice, we're looking at a retest of the 175 level. So that's where I'm looking at this as of right now. But let's talk about how to actually get wealthy in this space. There's no one in the chat to talk to today, so hopefully I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. But I wanted to give you guys this announcement as well. Abdul's in the house. Hey, someone's coming in the chat for me here. Could you tell me how many people are in the stream, Abdul? I'd really appreciate it. So what is XRP Community Day? Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse to headline February 11th global event. So for the XRP community, there will be a community day coming up February 11th, 2026 on X, bringing together the global XRP ecosystem for a full day of discussions, updates, and interaction. Designed as a fully online event, it gives XRP holders, developers, builders, and newcomers a clear view of where the ecosystem stands and what is being built in 2026. The event will run across 3 regional X spaces, making it accessible worldwide to the Asia Pacific region. The event takes place on February 12th due to some time zone differences. XRP Community Day is a global virtual gathering focused on the growth, utility, and future of XRP, broader XRP Ledger ecosystem. After the successful first edition, this year's event places stronger emphasis on real-world use cases, institutional adoption, and how XRP is being used across payments, DeFi, tokenization, and financial markets. So if you want an opportunity to hear from Brad Garlinghouse himself, February 11th on X, they are doing an XRP Community Day. It is the second one, and I see you guys in the chat now. Thank you. I appreciate you for letting me know you are here. Don't worry, I'm going to cover everything. I wanted, before I got into the meat of things, I wanted to make sure we had some people in the stream instead of letting it buffer and all that stuff. So 17 people in here now. Great. And we are going to talk about, hopefully, I'll do a recap too, since it came in, since so many people came in late. But yeah, February 11th would be great. Free bag of XRP. Brad owes me a free bag first. You know, let's go ahead and pull this up. I think I have it bookmarked here. I got the interview with Brad right here. Here it is. Let me pull this up for you. We can watch Brad and what he has to say. I swear, Brad Garlinghouse has to be a subscriber at this point. Like,
clarity is always better than chaos, and the industry needs clarity. Perfection, I think, in my experience, like, is the market structure bill that's pending in the banking committee, is it perfect? No, certainly not. But is it better than nothing? Absolutely. And I think we need to continue to work constructively with Washington to get and continue to iterate what is already sitting in front of the banking committee to make it better. But we shouldn't give up now. We are so close. Clarity is always better than chaos, and the industry needs clarity.
I swear, it's like he's talking directly to me sometimes. I've been like, it's funny, like the last week, the words I've been preaching, even the title of my channel, last week, Brad Garlinghouse has done 3 posts on X that literally highlight the same things I've been saying. So I've been having a lot of fun with it. That's just me though. So in talks of the crypto bill here, a draft version of the U.S. Senate bill could grant major cryptocurrencies like XRP, Solana, Dogecoin significant regulatory relief by placing them in the same category as Bitcoin and Ethereum, according to text circulating ahead of the official release. So as it stands right now, the way the bill is drawn up, it's lumping XRP, Solana, and Dogecoin in there with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Essentially, the way it stands now in the legislation, they would be a commodity. However, I don't have it pulled up here. Ripple did send a letter to them requesting that they leave open the ability to change it later, which is interesting to me because so they're looking at a commodity right now, but they're saying keep it open to where we can change the classification later. What would they change it to later, of all things? The only thing I can think of them changing from a commodity, that's obviously not a security. We got that from the court case. But if they want to change down the road, well, they're not a security, they're not a commodity. What's left? Currency? Maybe. My opinion. Not financial advice, but again, that's why we're here for the long view. That's why we research the space. That's why we research the space every single day, because everybody wants the $1,000 XRP right now because everyone was promised $1,000 XRP. But I want to break down some realistic wealth for you guys, okay? Everyone wants to get rich quick. More people are going to get wrecked quick than get rich quick. That is a fact. Do your research. You can find out. I guarantee it. Live your lessons. How many times have you tried to get rich quick and it's failed? Okay? Insanity is repeating the same process, expecting a different result. Okay? This is done over time. Wealth is a mindset. Broke people make broke people decisions. Rich people make rich people decisions. If you truly want to grow your wealth, it starts with personal sacrifice and delayed gratification. Truthfully. So what I do, again, none of this is financial advice, but I want to give you the real way to create wealth in this space. And for those of you who've been here a while, you know. But what I suggest, what I do personally in my own life is all the money you get, no matter what, as soon as you get your money, paycheck, whatever, wherever it comes from, birthday money, Christmas money, whatever, 10% of that money is paid to you first. It's paid to your future self first. Whatever investments you have decided on, hopefully you did your research and built out the 4 pillars that we talked about, having 4 investments that you feel 1,000,000% confident in over the next decade that you're just going to keep dollar cost averaging in. So over the next 10 years, it's the rule of tens. I'll come up with my own rule for it. The rule of tens. Over the next 10 years, invest 10% of your money before anything else. Anything after that, that's what you live off of. The first thing you pay is your future self. Your future self will thank you for it. So you take 10% every month and put it into your 4 pillars, 25% each. Bam, 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 bam. And then as you have extra money to invest, you can do dart throws at other things that you have researched, right? That's where you take more risky options. That's where you can get in and out and play a little bit, but you do that with your extra money. And I guarantee you, if you start young, hopefully I have some younger people in here, but if you start young, hopefully you can get this done in 10 years, right? Most people completely overestimate what they can do in a year and completely underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. If you do this for a decade, I guarantee you will be a 1%er. That much I will guarantee. Again, not financial advice, but I will own that. If you are working and investing 10% of your money, and again, you have to be smart, right? No credit card debt, no unsecured debt, hopefully no car loan. Hopefully you don't make $60,000 a year and you're paying an $800 truck loan, okay? Be smart. Broke people make broke people decisions. Rich people make rich people decisions. It's how it goes. So avoid debt, right? It's the basics. It's actually truly easy to do. It's just people don't want to do it. Avoid credit card debt. Unsecured debt is the worst thing you can have. You're literally flushing your money down the toilet. Who cares if you're getting a 10, 20, 30% return on $2,000 worth of XRP if you have $2,000 worth of credit card debt at 34.9%? It's not helping you. At that point, you lost money, okay? Credit card is okay. Debt slavery is how I look at it, truthfully, is the thing you need to fight against. And that's what the debasement trade is about. But the world lives on debt right now. So I'm going to tell you guys a hard truth right now. If you're investing in cryptocurrency and you have a credit card with a large balance on it, you're doing it wrong. If you have an $800 truck payment that's at 10% interest, you're doing it wrong. You are going to lose. You're setting yourself up for failure. Yeah, it sucks. I drive a $6,000 Jeep Cherokee that's been paid off for 8 years, but I got money in the bank, right? Okay, so it comes down to what is worth it to you. Do you want the fancy car that you're paying 10% interest on and you pay $90,000 for a $60,000 truck over 8 years? You think that's smart? It's not, okay? Again, not financial advice. I'm not here to preach to anyone, but you have to change your mindset. It will be worth it to you. What you sacrifice today, you gain in spades tomorrow. That's a fact. You have to plan for the future. The more you sacrifice now, the less you have to sacrifice later. So let's hop into the chat. Let me talk to you guys, see what's going on in here. It's been kind of a quiet Friday today. I should start doing streams on Friday nights. Maybe I'll get more of y'all in here. Let's see. King Kong's in the house. He was the first one here today. I appreciate you. Abdul's in the house today. Good morning, Abdul. Good afternoon. Now it's 12:20 out here now. Cosmic Fox Crypto says, thank you for your research. Great stuff. I'm glad you appreciate it. If you guys are here, please hit the like button, comment, engage. If you want to help me grow the community and grow the channel, the biggest things you can do is to watch and engage. It helps me out. It helps the channel out. And I appreciate every single one of you for taking your time to be here today and help me grow this channel. You're in it just as much as I am. Raul says, I'm here just working, so he's being quiet. Okay. Abdul says 17 people in the stream, so the stream was growing. Hopefully we got more. If someone could let me know how many people we have in here now, hopefully we can keep it going. And anyone who came in late, don't worry. I'm going to do a recap for you, and I'm also going to get back into the live chat as we go. I answer every question and talk to every person. It's Friday. Price is doing nothing right now. Hopefully we get some good news, but it's XRP Army. We're here for the long view, and we will Are we going to switch the XRP army to the XRP family? I've been hearing that rumor as well. Shada says February 11th, my day. Maybe Brad G will send me a free bag of XRP. Your day. I'm guessing your birthday, February 11th. Shada, happy early birthday. I'm thinking that's what you were trying to say. Three Brothers said happy Friday. Welcome, Three Brothers. Miss Wendy is in the house today. She says, I still think Bitcoin will run up and then roll over. It's very possible. Again, real quickly, if you're new to the stream, so you haven't been, I've been doing this for about 3 to 4 months now. I started back in September. But one of the things I've talked about a lot is the Bitcoin volume bubble. What is the Bitcoin volume bubble? We're going to look at all time. I haven't done this in a while here, so let me zoom out and find everything. So if we go to all-time Bitcoin, I still have my line there. You can see at the beginning of Bitcoin, there was all of this volume. And then last time we had any real volume with Bitcoin was right around this area. Since then, that was, that was March of 2022, February 2022. Since then, we've had all of this price growth with almost no comparison volume, okay? If this starts to fall, there is no volume to catch it, especially like it was back here. This is so pumped up, full of leverage and debt and DAT companies. If something goes wrong here, there is nothing to catch Bitcoin on the way down. That's why I started rotating out of Bitcoin. I got out of Bitcoin right around, I think I sold my last one at like 97 back when, but I started getting out of it around 115. I cycled out of Bitcoin because I fear this. I don't believe in Bitcoin over the next 10 to 20 years. I don't. It does not have utility. It's a store of value. It's like digital gold. Now, it's not to say gold won't have value in 10 years, but I think there's more ROI in other assets over the next 10 years, my opinion. That's why I cycled out of Bitcoin. I could be very wrong, not financial advice, but that's how I'm viewing it and why I'm viewing it that way, because I'm focusing on utility, what's actually going to do something in the infrastructure moving forward. I don't see Bitcoin having any real utility other than a store of value at this point. And again, that's just me, not financial advice. I could be very wrong, but you know, if I go down on that hill, so be it. I'll take it. Cosmic said same facts. He said, so how many XRP tokens do you think is freedom money in a decade? Okay. Well, I think that's different for everybody. What is your definition of freedom money? What are you hoping to achieve? Everyone's financial freedom is different. To me, financial freedom is being able to wake up in the morning and I don't have a boss. I don't have to work if I don't want to. Being able to wake up in the morning without having an alarm and choosing what I'm going to do that day for myself. Having the financial freedom to do that is financial freedom. So really that can be determined. It doesn't have to be determined by how much XRP you have, how much crypto you have. It's about building it the right way. Wealth is a mindset, right? I do hold XRP and many other cryptos that I believe will have a return on investment down the road. So if you're asking me to make a price prediction on XRP, I have, and many of the people in my stream will tell you, I don't like making price predictions because we still don't have clarity. Clarity is going to determine how XRP is used, how it is viewed, what role it's going to fill in this new infrastructure. It's frankly impossible to put a value on a technology that is designed to transfer value until we know what the hell it's going to do. Right now, we are looking at speculation. Now, granted, there's a lot of adoption. There's been a lot of acquisitions. Ripple's really, really pushing it out. But until that law is signed into effect, major institutions are not going to invest trillions or quadrillions of dollars building on technology that could go away with a new administration. So how many XRP is enough? Depends on when. In a decade, it could be anywhere between $100 and $1,000. I do think, truthfully, in a decade, it could reach $1,000. I think it's going to be like Amazon, that the infrastructure build is going to go. And then as soon as we get clarity, as soon as utility starts turning on, that's why I follow the transactions and the accounts activity and payments volume and all of those things. Real utility that we can follow and measure. That's why I create the ETF true supply shock model, so we can have an idea of what a true supply shock could look like and what would trigger a repricing. I do all of this stuff to build out a long view so we can dollar cost average in over time. If you're here now, if you've been in this space longer than 2 or 3 years, you know now you've been sold a bill of goods on every coin from this one to that one and everything in between on how it's going to make you a millionaire, or it's going to do this or it's going to do that, right? You've heard it. You've heard it with XRP. You've heard it with a million other coins, I'm sure. Dollar cost average, stack. Do your research. Utility. What's going to have real use case? What problems are going to be solved with this investment, right? The money that is made in this world comes from solving problems. The bigger problem you can solve, the more money you're going to make. XRP solves a giant problem in global financial infrastructure. That's why I'm invested in it, right? Canton Network, CC, I'm going to be doing a video on it soon. Already has adoption and use case being formed with the DTCC, with BlackRock backing, all of those things, right? So you've got to do your research. Follow the money. If the largest asset manager in the world, who is responsible for a third of the entire value in the stock market, is saying, I'm going to back this one, might be a good idea. Again, follow the money, not financial advice. Do your own research. So what's 1,000? And so really, Cosmic Fox, I kind of went on a rant there. So what is financial freedom to you? How much money does it require for financial freedom? And what price do you expect XRP to be in 10 years? I do think it could reach 1,000, but let's say it only got to 100. So how much money is financial freedom for you? Are you good with, I don't have to go out and do much. So as long as I have a car, my house is paid for, food's on the table, and I can go out every once in a while, and medical is paid for and all those things, I don't need a lot. I don't need a super fancy car and a mansion and Porsche and all these things. I don't. I can get by. Seriously, if I had $1 million right now in the current economy, I can survive for life off $1 million. I just don't need that much. I really don't. And I don't have any bills, so to speak of, other than my mortgage. Again, not financial advice. Let's go ahead and hop into the rest of it here. Operation Buzz 589 says banks need to step up their yield game to be more competitive rather than crow about stablecoins earning yield and messing with the clarity bill. We knew this was going to happen. The banks aren't going to give it up easily. Don't forget, they're lobbying in Washington with the Democrats, obviously. That's why Biden and the Biden administration was so anti-crypto, because the banks had their hands in those pockets, people. You got to pay attention to lobbyists, who is paying for their campaigns, all of those things. Big banks do not want us to earn yield on our stable coins, right? Because if you open a savings account right now, you might get what? 1%? Maybe 1.5%, 2% if you're lucky. Well, those banks are getting free money from the Fed, right? They're getting it at whatever interest rate, essentially free. And they open up the loan and they give you, or you deposit your money in. Say you deposit your money in the savings account, you give them $1,000. They give you 1%. They turn around and loan that money out for 4, 5, 6%, right? So that's where you're getting that stable coin yield, is the DeFi people, right? And Coinbase, and then they're giving you that yield, whereas the banks are keeping it for themselves. Banks don't want to lose that. I think like JP Morgan had like $25 billion worth of like gains from that last year or something like that. So they do not want to give up that money, and we're going to have to fight and scratch and claw to get our piece. And unfortunately, banks hold all the money. We're going to have compromises, and that's why we watch it every day. It may be my pessimistic reality, but I don't think the retail user is going to win this one. They don't care about us. You think the government cares about us? You think the big banks care about us? No way. We have to position ourselves the best way we can to take full advantage, and that's why we have to keep our head screwed on straight and follow the money. Pay attention. Cosmic Fox says, yeah, evenings are better, likely. Okay. 28 people in the stream. Appreciate you. Carla says, just found you and saw your video from yesterday about exchange supply. Really enjoyed it. You seem really practical without overhyping. That's the exact goal of the channel, Carlos. Thank you for joining. Make sure you hit subscribe, like the video. But that is the goal. It is crypto without chaos. We are here for the long view of what XRP and other crypto can be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, not what's happening with the day-to-day price. We do follow the day-to-day price, ETF inflows, all that stuff, so we understand the structure and what's happening in the market. So when the noise starts chirping at you all, you have a grounded idea of where you're at with this. Again, we're building for the long view, not what's happening today. Let's see. So hopefully, I'm glad you're here, Carlos. Hopefully that addresses you there. Damien says, was good, Longview, looking good, brother. Thank you. I got dressed up nice today. No, I was actually, believe it or not, the only reason I put this on is because I recorded a video today, and I'm going to be putting it out either later today or tomorrow. But I recorded a video today about crypto security, and it's going to be a video that's probably going to be up for a long time and get moved out. That's not about news, right? So it's going to be live for a longer period of time. It's going to be in circulation for a longer period of time. So I wanted to look nice. Wanted to look nice for y'all. Put out a nice video today. Shada says, yes, birthday. Thanks. They have XRP, Quant, SHX, and Flare. XRP I got, Quant I got, Flare I got. I don't have any stronghold yet. I know a lot of people are picking that up as a hedge against XRP, but I've been really focusing on Canton Network. I've got, right now, I actually just looked at it. I've got XRP, Chainlink, HBAR, Quant, Flare. But let me go back. My big three are XRP, Chainlink, and HBAR. My fourth pillar was Bitcoin. I've now shifted that out to Canton Network. So my fourth pillar is now Canton Network. So I have XRP, Chainlink, HBAR, Canton Network, and then I have some dart throws, right, where I have a little bit of stuff, and that's going to be your Flare, that's going to be your Optimism, that's going to be Quant and those things. So I have a little bit of everything. I think I had a total of 9 cryptocurrencies in my bag right now. But I've been actually trying to narrow it down to just a few that I enjoy with dart throws. So I have my 4 pillars that I'm investing in right now, and that's going to be XRP, CC, HBAR, and Link. And then I also like Quant, Ondo, Flare. There's several other ones, Midnight, Cardano. There's several other ones, anything privacy, tokenization, ISO 20022, really heavy into the utility stuff. And then as far as my physical assets and stuff like that, I have silver, copper, really big on copper. Who saw copper lately? After I did that video last week, I got so much hate on. Anyone look at copper recently? I did one video on copper and got so much hate on it. It's ridiculous. And copper is just flying. I love it. So yeah, copper, silver, gold. I'm really into copper right now. I was buying copper right here. Let me pull it up right here. I told you guys about copper when it was right about here. And I've been buying copper since about here. So I'm loving life with the copper right now. So copper, silver, gold. I also have my crypto, and then I have, your typical stuff. I have your S&P 500, your QQQ. I have a little bit in AI. However, I'm about to shift out of AI. I was actually thinking about shorting NVIDIA, to tell you the truth. The amount of debt that they have pumped into NVIDIA scares the crap out of me. Cosmic said, nice bag, Shada. All right. Cosmic Fox said, Bitcoin and Ethereum to me were training wheels, in my opinion. Well, it still is. And again, okay, so again, for those of you who are in the space, we are still very early into the crypto space. We are in the infancy stage. Okay, so give you guys, for those of you who are new to the stream, some of you are, I'm 41, about to be 42. I remember back to when the internet first came online. I reference this all the time, back in 1994, 1995, and I was sitting in the basement on the computer playing with AOL. We all thought at that time that AOL was going to be the winner, right? Or at least one of the winners, right? Look at how the internet has grown out over the last 30 years. Do you think that this community, do you think that this space, this crypto space, is going to look anything like it does now 30 years from now? Shit, look at the world 10 years ago. It's completely changed. So we have to adapt. We have to move forward. But that being said, we are at the infancy stage of cryptocurrency right now. It's not even regulated into our financial system right now. So how this is going to play out over the next 10 to 20 years is still undetermined. A lot of people can come on here and guess and try to tell you what they think is going to happen. They don't know. Go back and look at predictions of what people were saying was going to happen with the internet in the 90s. People thought it was just email. Now we stream everything. Now you guys can click and watch me from around the world in the Netherlands. No one saw this coming, and no one sees what's going to happen in 30 years with crypto. We have to build it out over the long term. We have to keep our heads screwed on, adapt, adjust. That's how you survive this space. Damien says, I'm worried that XRP will be labeled as a U.S. strategic asset. What's your strategy for that? I mean, if it's labeled as a strategic asset, it's going to pump the price by far. The only thing that could do would be they could force us to give it to them like they did with gold when they repriced gold back in the day. The U.S. government forced everyone to sell their gold, and then they turn around and reprice gold. There's always an opportunity they could do something like that with XRP. I really do think, though, and I could be crazy, and I don't like it because I would like to hold my XRP, but if they make us sell it back to them, be some stupid shit like that. If they make us sell it back to them at that point, truthfully, it's appreciated so much to that point, I probably have more money than I need, honestly, and I probably won't care as much. It'll suck. And it would really, really suck that I saw it coming and couldn't capitalize fully on it. I would be mad for a little bit. I'd be mad for a bit, but I think, when I'm sitting and swimming in my millions from the stack I do have and what I was able to cash out for, that'll soften the blow a little bit. But then you have to pivot and adapt. Legislation is going to change. Regulations are going to change. We're going to have to pivot on this. Life's the same way. When has anything in your life gone to plan? You have to be able to adapt, adjust, and overcome. Things never go to plan. The only thing you can guarantee in this world is that things are going to change, right? Let's see here. Cosmic Fox said, base money for a decent life and don't worry about boss, nothing crazy. So I call that I saw a clip one time and I love it. But I call that the status of FU. I'm not going to do the whole quote, but I call that the status of FU. You have about $2.5 million put away. You own your house. You own your car. That puts you in a permanent position to say FU. Boss wants you to do something you don't want to do? FU. You don't want to wake up and go to work? FU. You want to go golf for the day? FU. Your wife wants to leave? FU. Right? You got more than enough to cover anything you need to do and start whatever you need to do. To me, that is financial freedom, being in the permanent spot of FU. You don't want to do it? FU. You don't have to do it. That's financial freedom. When you have to do something, when you have to go to work because you have to have the money, you are a slave, in my opinion. That's not freedom. Let's see here. Shada says, able to buy as much bourbon and boxes of cigars as I need. Hey, man, all I need, Shada, I need a damn stroke brain's getting me here. I need a membership to a golf course. I need a membership to a golf course and a beach, and I'll be happy. Those are the only two things I need in life, is a beach and a golf course, and I am golden. Let's see here. Cosmic says yes, what Shada said. Okay. Cosmic Crypto, or Cosmic Fox, here it is. Cosmic Fox Crypto says yes, what Shada said. You said, yeah, me too. Easy without stress. I just wanted to hear your ballpark thoughts, no predictions. I saw your chart did it solid and realistic. That's the idea. I don't want to, so I talk about the long view, right? The channel is the long view, right? Everything I talk about is the long view, myself included, this channel included. This channel is here for the long view, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I want to build this out. For those of you who are new, I went on disability back in June. I had strokes, had multiple strokes 3 years ago, and I went on disability back in June. I can't work a normal job anymore because I can only work like 2 to 3 hours at a time. I get microbleeds in my brain if I'm under too much stress. So this is my new full-time job. This is me trying to build something that I can do moving forward, as opposed to just sitting on my butt collecting a check, because I want to be able to build something out moving forward. And that's why I'm here. So the channel is for the long view. And if I'm feeding you guys a bunch of BS crap, yeah, I might grow fast, but that check will come due and I'm going to lose all credibility. We see what happens in this space when people do that. Not going to name names, but we've seen the drama unfold. Let's see here. Three Brothers said Jake Claver said XRP will hit 1,000 this year. Shocker. Almost right on cue with that statement. Again, we're here for the long view, guys. I'm not here to pump you full of hopium. I want to build something out over time and set you guys up for what I truly believe is the best possible option for true wealth and financial freedom, which is the ability for you to live your life without being a slave to a job and money. To be able to wake up without an alarm and do what you want to do that day with no stress or fear in the world. That is freedom, in my opinion. And that's what I'm here to try and help you build. That's what I'm building for myself. That's my dream, regardless of what it looks like. That's my dream. Let's see here. Cosmic Talk says, yeah, I'm simple living too. That's all I'd want. Yeah. And we don't understand that when we're younger because we get all this marketing and stuff saying you need this, you need this, you need the Porsche, you need that, you need that. And we've created this immediate gratification, buy now, pay later society that traps people into a mountain of debt that they can't get out of. It starts with student loans. No one should take out student loans. It's the worst investment ever. Go to a trade school. Join the military for 4 years. Get your GI Bill, right? We have to be better as a society. We have to be better. And then people want to complain when they're 40 or 50 that they don't have any money, but they never invested anything. And they say, well, I don't have any money to invest. You got two $50,000 cars sitting in your driveway. Don't give me that crap. You made bad decisions. But they're also not educated well either. We don't teach this stuff in school. My daughter hates me sometimes. I'm telling you. Shada says, Canton looking interesting. Yes, getting that next. Again, nothing is financial advice. Do your own research, but I want to be honest with you guys about what I'm into. That is one that I have been looking into heavily and we'll be doing a video on soon that I've recently picked up a position in. Cosmic Fox said, absolutely, same here for me. Raul said, what's that Coppers page name? That was just futures, Raul. That was the Coppers futures. If you just go, if it's HG right here, it says, but if you just go to Robinhood or anything and just type in Copper futures, it'll pull up. But yeah, Copper kicking butt. If you guys caught this, I did a stream. Gosh, how long ago was it? Maybe 2 weeks ago, Roger? Or was that Roger? No, that was Raul and Crypto Roger. Well, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. I did a stream on Copper because silver was getting so pumped up and silver was hitting all-time highs. And I was like, I wouldn't buy silver at the top. I'd be looking at copper. It's got some room to run. And I explained how it's, for infrastructure and an inflation hedge. And it's really, really on board for, building out infrastructure in the United States. And we're talking about all these AI data centers and all this stuff. Copper is solar, batteries, right? Tech is going to be massive. Copper is going to be a vital part of the infrastructure. It's going to be a vital part of building. And if we're going to continue to build infrastructure, you'll see copper rise, just like you see the prices of wood and those things rise. But copper is being used in a lot of those data centers and stuff right now too that they're building out. So that's why I've leaned that way over silver. Maybe not so much anymore as it's getting to a new top, right? I lean that way over silver because silver I thought was so overhyped and full of FOMO. Like, you don't want to buy at the top, right? We buy at the bottom. When there's fear and blood in the streets is when we buy, not when things are running on FOMO to all-time highs. But, that's where a lot of retail gets into it. When things are dropping in price and you're saying, hey, you should buy this, they think you're crazy. But, the stock market is backwards from traditional thinking. It really is. Jason Prashad said, new to crypto and have Coinbase, but I think I heard you say you don't like Coinbase. Can you recommend a better exchange? So I honestly use Robinhood or I use Caleb and Brown. So Caleb and Brown is a brokerage. I am going to be partnering with them. I'll have links for you guys soon, but they offer free institutional custody. So it's similar to exchange, but you have a personal broker that you can call. They're really good for larger transactions because there's no onboarding and offboarding limits. As far as what you can do, you can make a call. They take care of it for you. Think of it as like white glove treatment for crypto. But if I'm just going to hop on an exchange and buy something, I'll honestly just do it in Robinhood. And then I immediately transfer it out, unless I'm moving stuff around. Again, my opinion, not financial advice, but that's how I do it. I don't like to keep my currency on an exchange. I will leave it in Caleb and Brown. I leave my bigger bag in Caleb and Brown, or I'm going to leave my bigger bag in Caleb and Brown because it has free institutional custody. But again, my opinion, not financial advice. And as that partnership goes live, I have the paperwork sitting in my email. I'm just waiting for my EIN on my LLC to turn on all the monetization stuff for you guys, the memberships and all that. So all that stuff's going to be coming real soon. I'm working on getting some good partners together for you guys that I trust, that makes sense. And if I offer you guys anything, if I offer you any services, it's going to be something that I use and there's going to be a reason for it, right? It'll solve a need. So like I talk about, for instance, I talk about cold storage wallets. For those of you who've been in my channel a long time, I always say, regardless of what cold storage wallet you get, make sure you get it from the manufacturer, right? Don't buy it from a third party. So when I have a cold storage wallet partner, I'll have a link for you directly to the manufacturer to solve that need. For people looking for institutional custody or a white glove treatment, I'll have a link for that for you to use, that I trust and that I have used. That's my goal, right? Is to help build this out for the long view for everyone with real tools that help you build your wealth. My opinion, not financial advice, but hopefully that answer. I personally don't like Coinbase because I've heard way too many people lose their crypto on Coinbase and not be able to recover it. I've heard of a lot of people having issues withdrawing from Coinbase at times. Again, I'm not trying to pitch it right now. I'm not even partnered with them just yet, but that's why I do like Caleb and Brown, because there's no limit for offloading. If prices rise to a high amount and you want to sell everything and offload it, you can. There won't be a limit on how much you can pull out, like there is with a lot of exchanges. My opinion, not financial advice. Cosmic Fox said, absolutely, same here for me. Raul said, what's the copper page name? I answered that question for you. Curtis says, really, I'm only hoping for $100 XRP to be a Deca millionaire. You and I can buy an island together if it gets to $100, Roger. You get half and I'll get half. If you want, we could put a fence up. But I think we can split it. I think you can buy an island now for like 30 million, right? So we could split an island together. Damien says, laughing out loud, you right. Love it, brother. We got the same freedom plan. I mean, that's really what it is. And anyone who's been around this life long enough and has been kicked in the teeth long enough over time, man, we just want our peace. We just want our peace, dude. Is it right? Anyone here divorced? We just want our peace. Sorry, I'm just joking. I'm on a mood. I mean, I'm on one today. Roger says, I'm 100% disabled with TDIU. I'm not allowed to work as per the VA. Now, I completely understand, Roger. I'm currently 60%. I've actually got my Nexus letter from my neurologist, and that is submitted to Service Connect, the strokes to my connected disabilities. So I will actually probably in the next 12 to 24 months be a full 100%. TDIU is the minimum for me at this point, because all I need is a 10% increase somewhere to get to TDIU, because I'm at 60% right now. So I will be 100% with, I'm fairly confident I'll have a full 100% once the strokes get service connected to my anxiety disorder and my heart condition. So those that, things are going to be great in a year or two once I get that back pay, and then once this YouTube is all rolling, I'm actually going to be closing on my house next month. I'm selling my house. So there's that too. I'll have some income there. Yeshua says, hello, everyone. How does Quant work with XRP? Quant doesn't specifically work with XRP, but the reason I like Quant is because of its partnerships, right? And what it's building. Okay. Really, a lot of my investments are following the money, because I do believe, like, if BlackRock's involved, they own, they manage a third of the money in the world. So if BlackRock's involved, it's probably a good place to look. Just my opinion. But I only have a little bit in quant. I haven't researched it a lot, but I do know it has some major backing. And again, that was one of my dart throws. That was one of those things. I'm like, I have a little bit of money. Let me do some quick research. Yeah, I like this. I'll put 100 or 200 bucks in it, and then I leave it. And if it does good, it does good. But I have my main ones that I invest in, that I'm researched in and follow consistently. And if I need to make a change, I can make a change because I'm up to date with what's going on. Again, my opinion. Let's see here. Yeshua, is quant and quantum different? Yes, quant and quantum are different. So quant, let me pull it up here. I believe. My stroke brain's messing with me. Let me see here. Quant. Let's see. Quant price today, QUNT. The live quant price. So quantum and quant are not the same thing. You're thinking probably of quantum computing, but the actual full word is quant, QUANT. Let me see here. Let's just do an overview real quick. I'll give you a brief overview and I'll read it to you so that way I am not lying to you. I don't want to stumble over my words because I haven't looked at it in a long time. Quant is an enterprise-focused crypto project providing blockchain interoperability via over ledger. So it is tying all the networks together. It is mainly there to provide interoperability, letting businesses build multi-chain apps to connect different blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum to legacy systems. So they are bridging with quant tokens used for network access, payments, and governance, driving enterprise adoption as key utility, solves blockchain fragmentation, enabling secure data sharing and new financial applications, acting as a universal gateway rather than a competing blockchain. So again, it is trying to bridge traditional and traditional and blockchain infrastructure. Interoperability is going to be key. Interoperability, tokenization, real world use cases. So, and Quant does have work that they're doing already announced with BlackRock. And again, that's why I jumped in and threw a little bit of money at. But that is your answer on Quant. Someone says, Shada says, pretty happy with Tangem for cold storage and purchasing on there as well. Okay, I've heard lots of good things about Tangem. I really have. I personally haven't used it. I just started messing with this, with the stuff that EliPal sent me. So I'm testing out their quantum, I'm testing out their air gapped cold storage wallet right now. And I want to do that because XRPL is quantum safe. So an air-gapped cold wallet on a quantum safe ledger is about as secure as you can get for protecting your assets, in my opinion. Other than institutional custody, that's insured because you got that guarantee that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy. I need a Tommy Boy meme or something I can throw up here. Let's see here. Bert says, good afternoon. What benefits is there for crypto LLC besides protection from lawsuits? Thanks. Well, I'm not talking about necessarily a crypto LLC, but having an LLC for a business has many, many, many benefits as far as taxes. For me, just to give you, I'll give you an example of my use case, right? So I'm creating an LLC for YouTube. Once I turn on monetization, I can then take my startup cost, the money I spent, and put that against it. So I can start with negative $5,000. I think you're allowed to use up to $5,000 in startup costs. So I can start with negative $5,000. And then once I earn back $5,000, then I can start claiming my internet bill or whatever, gas to go wherever. You can start writing off your everyday expenses. I could also hire my daughter and pay her $13,800 a month, which is the tax limit. So I can actually pay my daughter $13,800 a month tax-free, right? And it keeps the money in the house. I then can take $6,000 a year from that and put it into a Roth IRA. Again, tax-free. If I do that from the time my daughter's 13 to 18, by the time she's 65, she'll be a millionaire. And she didn't even have to do anything. And it was completely tax-free. It was just moving money around. Now, that being said, another thing you can do is once I start making more money, I can purchase a company car. I can write that off. Again, taxes. So the point of having an LLC is you can fill in so many things of your normal life. So let's say, for instance, I hire my daughter. She's getting paid $13,800 a month. or $13,800 a year. Now she's an employee of the company. Now I can buy health insurance that's tax-free because it comes out of the LLC. I can get health insurance for myself, her, anyone who's employed by the company. So I can go a full year and make like $50,000 and write everything off. And it's completely legal. Completely. It's a good way of that, not only protecting yourself, but protecting your money and not having to pay it away in taxes. So if you can create a business that you can start writing those things off and have an LLC, it is very useful. But I'd certainly recommend you talk to a tax professional. There's a lot of ins and outs, and we don't want anyone to get audited or anyone have problems with the IRS. But there is a ton of ways for you to keep your money in your household using an LLC versus just working a regular job and paying regular taxes. Not financial advice. Stephen Haynes says, yep, Coinbase still 101 of my XRP. I'm just not a fan of Coinbase. Webull, I've used Webull a little bit for stocks, but I never used it for crypto, so I can't comment on Webull. I don't have good information on that for you. Crypto Roger says, it sounds like you have your VA disability under control. Excellent. I do. I got to wait for the time. It's just the time. That honestly, truthfully, that's why I just sold my house. I just accepted the offer. We're closing next month, but that's why I sold my house, is because I'm waiting on the VA disability and the back pay and all of those things. I know it's going to go through, but it's really, really hard to survive off 60% VA disability and, long-term disability, which is only 50% of my paycheck, of my base pay. And I made more in commission than I did in base pay, so I'm probably making about 25% now of what I was 6 months ago. So I'm selling the house and pulling all the equity out of the house, and I'm going to reinvest later. But I figure right now would be a good time it's time to move. It's time for something different. It's time for a new scenario. So I'll probably be making some investments here in the very near future once I get a ton of equity in my pocket. Crypto Roger said, on my side of the island, I'll be growing the good herb. I am a grower as well, Crypto Roger. I grew for 6 years with my medical license. So don't worry, I can cultivate as well. I am an excellent cultivator. Burton says, thanks for answering the question. I appreciate it. Absolutely, Bert Larson, excuse me. Absolutely, Bert. I go through every single question in the stream and talk to every single person. I'm here for the long view, and I'm here to build this channel out with you guys. We're almost to the end of it. If you guys are still here, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, make sure to share it far and wide. And I want to, we like to have fun here. So I always like to have a little bit of fun if I can find you the fun. Everyone really seemed to enjoy this, so we will pull it up here and end on this here in just a moment. So let's see here. Crypto Roger said, but you have an LLC without compromising the TDIU. Awesome. Exactly. You don't have to compromise the TDIU, Roger, because I'm not making money. They only care about your taxes when it comes to the TDIU and staying below the poverty level. So you could get, if you use an LLC and start your own business, you can get a car, insurance, things for your house, pay gas, pay travel. Like if I want to go to Ripple Swell, I could write that off, pay travel. If you employ your spouse or your girlfriend, you can take them on trips as too, right? You can take them on trips. So like, since I'm doing YouTube, I could say, I'm going to go to Hawaii and film. My girlfriend works for me. We're going to record out there. I can write off that entire trip. So having an LLC protects you from taxes. And if you are like me and Roger and you have to worry about how much income you're allowed to make for TDIU or whatever reasons, it's an excellent way to give yourself a little extra without compromising it. Again, my opinion. Kyler says XRP is going to thousands this year. I hope you are right. I will gladly sit here and eat humble pie on my stack of XRP if it goes to thousands this year. I'll be the first one to say I was wrong, but I don't think that's happening this year. It's all about the money. I agree. I say follow the money. Follow the money will show you where to go. And XRP, well, not necessarily XRP, but Ripple has built out the infrastructure for Ripple payments massively over the last 18 months. Now, they say XRP sits at the middle of it and is the heartbeat of XRP, or is at the heartbeat of what they do. But we have to, that's the risk that we take as XRP holders. Do we believe them? Do we? Do we really believe them? So, yeah, I'm still going, Todd. It's been a great discussion, but I was about to finish up. So the question is, do we believe them? And I don't know, when you see stuff like this, it's sometimes it's hard to tell if you believe Brad. Let's see.
Show me the money! Show me the money! Show me the money! Show me the money! You my motherfucker! Show me the money!
I love that clip too much. We might see that once a stream until until I get bored of it. I love that clip way too much. You guys can follow XArt. It's Doge Hater. He does these videos. They are freaking hilarious. They're great. You can follow me on X at LongView Crypto if you want to see the information before it makes it to a stream or to a video. And I also engage with everyone on there. It's LongView Crypto, not LongView Compute. LongView Crypto on X. And Todd said, you are still going. Damien says, honestly, it does look like XRP actually about to take over 5% of Swift. Again, I hope it does, and I've been seeing that. But again, this is going to play out over time. We're still waiting on the Clarity Act. We're still waiting on XRP to be used at scale. When we actually look at the ledger activity, when we actually look at what we can actually track, account set activity, right? Accounts coming online, permissions getting set up, has been ramping up over the last 2 months, more than the entire history of the ledger. That aligns perfectly with the MAS announcement, with the Europe announcement, with the UK announcement, Japan tokenizing everything on XRP ledger. Things are getting turned on, but it has not translated to payments activity fully yet. We're starting to see an increase in payments volume, but we want to see this get to new highs. We want to see it get up to 2 million and above and sustain. That is our signal that real utility is building on the ledger and that XRP is being used. Again, everyone who holds XRP should have XRP scan. You can view everything that's happening on the ledger from wallets to transactions. Something everyone should at least be familiar with. My opinion, not financial advice. Todd Mess says, I caught the first 2 minutes and you had mentioned possible test of $1.75. Another content creator thinks if we hit the 100-week SMA, we will react off that, which is right around the same price. And you can look at that too. So the reason I didn't use those levels to come up with that price. My determination from that price was I follow the money, right? My determination for that price is, and back in November, there was a $3.1 billion purchase at the $1.75 level, okay? And then in November, there was a $1.8 billion purchase at the $1.77 level. There is money waiting at those levels to buy. Now, is that because of EMA or SMA or whatever indicator? I don't know, but I know that billions of dollars were purchased of XRP between $1.75 and $1.77. And if I pull up my chart, here, and we look at it, let me get back to XRP. But if I pull up my chart here and we look at it at the 1 week, this is our $1.75, $1.75 level here. 76. Sorry, you can see it bounced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. This is where it's going. If it comes down, it's coming to this line. If we fall below $2, if we cannot pass EMA 9 and cannot set a new trend, and we fall down below $2, it's going to this level. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. So if you want to pick up some more XRP under $2, you might want to set it right around the $1.77, $1.75 level. Not financial advice, but I do think we have a very real chance of heading down there. So that's all of the information I have for everyone today. I felt like it was a really great stream. It was really positive energy. Sounds like 2 odds enhancers to me. If it gets that low, I'm all in. Not financial advice. Hey, Tell you the truth, if I had a little bit of money, I'm pretty convinced on that. If I had a little bit of money, I'd probably put in a short and sell it when it gets under $1.80. But I don't have it right now. I can't play in the markets right now. It's sad. But yeah, that's everything I have for you guys. I would stay on here and hang out. The stream has been great. The energy has been good. But man, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm over here doing the pee-pee dance. So I'm gonna get off here. I'll catch you guys. I should stream. Well, I got an inspection tomorrow on my house. So I'm gonna stream at like 11:30 tomorrow morning. So if there's any new news, I will let you guys know. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.